All right, so let's start. We're going to be looking at the concept of adverbs, okay, extensively today. I need you to pay attention. Please, if by any means you have a question, you can unmute yourself to speak. But if you're not saying anything, I will advise that you mute yourself. All right, let's look at the likes of Mistura. You can mute yourself. Mistura, you can mute yourself. Omobolanle, Mistura. Mistura, can you hear me? You can mute yourself. Yeah, mute yourself. Mute yourself. Have you done that? I hope you can see the board very well, class. Now let's start. Now we're looking at the concept of an adverb. Now, an adverb is a word which modifies, remember, that's the key term there, which modifies a verb, okay, there's a comma, an adjective, and other adverb. Other adverbs in a sentence. Now take a look at the definition. Mistura, can you hear me? Mistura. Hello, Mistura. Mistura, you can mute yourself, yes. So I just sent you a message now. So mute the microphone. So let's start. Now we have the definition on the board. Please pay attention that an adverb is a word, okay? That's basically a word. And what is the major function? It modifies. Now the concept of the word modify means it adds more meaning. It supplies or provides more meaning to what? To a verb. It provides more meaning to an adjective and equally provides more meaning to other adverbs. Please pay attention. Now, like I said, the word modifies means to add or provide more meaning, okay? More meaning to another word. I need you to pay attention. So the word modifies means to add or provide more meaning to another word. So basically the function of an adverb is to modify. And what does it modify? A verb, an adjective, and other adverb. Remember last week I taught extensively on adjective and I was able to dive in to the aspect of adjectival order and the rest of them. But basically for this week, I'm going to be looking at adverbs. Now you may ask yourself, why am I teaching you all those word classes? Because when I get to the level of phrases and clauses, you will still need to refer to this concept of adverbs. At the level of word class, you need to refer to them. Because you need to understand the foundational aspects of a topic, all right? Then looking at the advanced aspect of it. These are word classes, and the advanced aspect of these word classes are phrases and clauses. And you need to understand this basically from the concept of the foundation. That's why I need you to pay attention here. So an adverb is a word which modifies a verb, an adjective, and other adverb. And I emphasize by saying that the word modify means to add or provide more meaning to another word. Okay? Now, let's continue. Adverb answers the questions such as where, for instance, how, when, and so on. These are basic questions that an adverb would answer. That is, an adverb will answer a question related to where, which discusses or talks about a place. Adverb will also refer to an aspect of how, which refers to the manner at which an action is performed. Then an adverb will also refer to when, talking about the reference to time to which such action is performed. I hope you understand that. So adverb majorly answer all those questions. Now, another major point, adverbs are usually mobile. What do I mean by that? Adverbs are usually mobile. Okay, that is, it could occur in different position. It could occur in different position. It could occur in different position in a sentence structure. It could occur in a different position or in different positions in a sentence structure. Please, I need you to take note of this. Now, remember I said that adverbs are usually mobile. What do I mean by adverbs are usually mobile? That is, an adverb can occur at the very beginning of a sentence, all right? The same adverb can equally occur in the middle of a sentence, all right? And also the same adverb can occur at the end of a sentence. Do you understand? So that's the mobility of an adverb. So that's why you have adverbs are usually mobile. That is, it occurs in different positions in a sentence structure. So the same adverb you find at the beginning of the sentence can equally occur in the middle and can as well occur at the end. All right? And then take a look at this now. I said adverb answers the questions such as what? Where, how, when, and so on like that. Now let's look at a case in which adverb helps to modify a verb, and also in a case whereby adverb helps to modify an adjective, and also in a case whereby adverb helps to modify another adverb. Is that taken? Let's take examples to that. So now we have examples in sentences. Examples in sentences. Examples in sentences. So what do we have here? So she speaks politely. Can you see? So she speaks politely. So she here is the singular subject plus what? What is speaks? That's a singular verb, remember? Plus what? What is politely? That's an adverb, ADV. What type of adverb is that? That's talking about adverb of manner, remember? The particular way at which this particular person spoke. So here we have, she speaks politely. Now, if you look at this now, this is the adverb, which is politely, as you can see. The adverb here, politely, is making reference to what? To speaks. It's actually not making reference to the subject here, she. No. It is rather making reference to speaks, which is the verb. So in other words, the adverb here, which is the adverb of manner, is modifying the verb. That is adding more meaning to the verb. How is it adding more meaning to the verb? It's trying to tell you the manner at which this particular individual spoke. All right? That's why you have she speaks politely. This adverb politely is adding meaning to it. It's telling you to what condition, in what way was it presented, the utterance, how was it said. Politely is the adverb, as you can see. So that's the analysis here. You have she speaks politely. Now that's why you have she as a singular subject here, and speaks is a singular verb, remember? And then you have politely as the adverb. Now, what specific aspect of adverb is politely? That's adverb of manner. I hope you can hear me very well. That's an adverb of manner. So this is a situation in which an adverb, which is politely, modifies the verb. How does it modify the verb? Because it's adding more meaning to the verb. Now take a look at this. The adverb politely, okay, adds more meaning. Adds more meaning to the verb. And what's the verb there? Speaks. Therefore, can you see? So therefore, the adverb politely modifies what? Modifies the verb. And what's the verb there? The verb here is speaks. Can you see? So take a look at this, class. This is the explanation. She speaks politely, all right? She is the singular subject. Speaks is what? The singular verb. And then politely is what? The adverb. What specific aspect of adverb is politely? That's manner. And here is the explanation. The adverb politely adds more meaning to the what? To the verb speaks. How? Because it's telling you, all right, the manner at which she, the female gender, spoke. Or how she usually speak. Now, therefore, the adverb politely, okay, modifies the verb speaks. That's the first aspect, number one. Number two, now you can have the water is very hot. Can you see that now? So the water is very hot. Now, in this particular sentence, we're trying to examine how an adverb can modify an adjective. That is, how an adverb can add more meaning to an adjective. Now, take a look at this. What do you have here? The water, which is the subject. What is? That's the singular verb. What is very? Very is the adverb, remember. Okay? Then here, what is hot? Hot is the adjective, adj. So you're saying that the water is very hot. So hot. Okay? That's exactly what the writer is saying, that the water is very hot. Now, in this case, what do you have? Like we have here, the water, which is the subject, and you have is, which is the singular verb. Now, this is the adverb here, which is very, and this is what? The adjective, which is hot. The adverb very here is trying to modify, is trying to add more meaning to what? To hot, telling you the intensity, how hot it is, the degree, the extent. That's the function of the adverb there. It's trying to describe to you, trying to add more meaning to the adjective. You can see that it's not referring to the verb here. It's rather trying to describe the degree, the intensity, the extent, the level, the propensity of the hotness of the water. Trying to tell you that it is very hot. Now, I might not need to write out this explanation to you. It's very clear by doing this in the first example. Now, you can easily relate to this where you have the water is very hot, okay? Hot there being an adjective, ADJ, remember? That's an adjective. Why ADV is an adverb? ADJ is an adjective, and then ADV is an adverb. So the water, which is the what? The subject, is the singular verb, then very is the adverb, and hot is what? The adjective. Okay? You can see that the adverb is modifying the what? The adjective, telling you the degree, the level, the extent of how hot the water is. So if you look at that now, you can see that the adverb is making reference to the adjective. It's trying to modify the adjective. I hope that is clear to you. Now let's take the third example. Let's take the third example. Now in the third example here, you have okay. Let me have, do not take it. I want to use, okay. Do not take it very seriously. So now we can have do not take it seriously, and we can also place in an adverb in the middle to have do not take it very seriously, okay? Now in this case, very here is the adverb, and then seriously is also another adverb as well. Then remember, now you have do not. This do not is a verb phrase. I taught you when you have a combination about two or more verbs, then you will form a verb phrase. If you have about two combination of verbs or three combination of verbs, you will form a verb phrase. Anytime you want to form a verb phrase, just ensure you have about 2 or 3 verbs. And those 2 or 3 verbs can be a combination of auxiliary verb and main verb, auxiliary verbs and lexical verbs to form a verb phrase. So in the case of this now, this is a verb phrase. How? Because remember that you have what? Here, you have about 3 verbs. This is the first, this is the second, and this is the third. Okay? So that's why I had to classify this as the verb phrase. Okay? So do not take it very seriously. So this, as it is the subject of what we're discussing. This it here can represent the issue or the case. So we can classify this as the subject here because that is what we're making reference to. What shouldn't you take very seriously? It's talking about it. That's what you should not take very seriously. That is the case, the problem, the issue. Whatever the difficulty is, do not take it very seriously. So look at the analysis here. This is a combination of verbs. And anytime you have combination of verbs like this, you should be able to classify them as verb phrase. I already taught verb phrases, if you remember very well, in your notebook. And then it here is the subject. It is a pronoun very well, but it's functioning as a subject. That is the major discourse. What is being, addressed. So do not take it. That is, do not take the case, do not take the issue, do not take the problem very seriously. And then very here is the adverb, like I explained in the previous one. That's an adverb of degree. Okay? And then you have seriously, which is also what? An adverb of manner. So in this case now, you can see that this is an adverb of degree, different from this, which is an adverb of manner. Don't forget. So we've been able to examine how an adverb can modify a verb, how it can also modify an adjective, and how it can equally modify an adverb of itself. That's what we've been able to consider so far. I hope this is clear to you now. And let me also bring to your attention that it's very, very easy to form an adverb. It is very easy to form an adverb. How can you possibly do that? Now, to form an adverb, you just simply have to add ly to an adjective. The moment you add ly to an adjective, you would not all adjectives per se, all right? Just for some specific adjectives. When you add ly to some specific adjectives, you will derive or generate an adverb. Let's take a look at those examples, okay? So, an adverb can be derived by adding ly, okay, to an adjective. Don't forget. An adverb can be derived by adding ly to an adjective, okay? Now look at the list of this adjective. Number one is smart. Can you see? Number one is bold, okay? Slow, polite. These are adjectives I'm writing. Let me even indicate it. These are adjectives. Don't forget. These are adjectives. Smart, bold, slow, polite. And then you can have faithful. Can you see? You can have active. Okay, so I have about 2, 4, and 6 of them. So how do I generate an adverb? So this, okay, these are the adverbs. So remember, this is plus ly. If I add plus ly to this smart, do you remember? Smart plus ly, I will derive an adverb there. So I have smartly, remember? Okay. Then if I add bold plus ly, do you remember? What will I derive? I'll have boldly. Okay. If I add slow plus ly, I will have slowly. Remember? Then if I have polite plus ly, I will have politely, which is also an adverb. Then faithful plus ly, I'll have faithfully. I will have faithfully, remember? And then if I have active plus ly, I'll have actively. I hope this is clear to you. Let me bring out some common errors that a lot of students, even adults, tend to make, okay, in the usage of adverb. Some of those errors could be not adding ly, okay, to adverbs. Remember, if you don't add ly to adverb, you will automatically generate an adjective. The moment you don't add ly to a specific adverb, such as this, you will definitely generate an adjective. For instance, some will say, oh, don't take it personal. No, it should be don't take it personally. Okay? Yes, because the word that's supposed to occur there is an adverb, not an adjective. Personal there is an adverb, is an adjective. Okay? Personal is an adjective. But when you have personally, that's an adverb. Don't take it seriously. That's the correct form. Do not say, don't take it serious. No, that's very, let me illustrate that here. Someone say, do not take it serious, okay? Do not take it serious. This is wrong. The correct version should be, do not take it seriously. Can you see? So what's the basic difference? Serious here is an adjective, remember? ADJ. And then seriously here is an adverb. So what you're supposed to use in this context is actually an adverb. That's why you